Greetings, everybody. I had my appeal hearing with the California Unemployment Insurance Appeals Board last week, and I'd like to share how it went so that if any of you get scheduled or are scheduled for a hearing, you can know more about what to expect. I'm going to make up the time it was scheduled for, but the time durations will be accurate. The hearing was scheduled for 1:15 p.m. over the phone. The hearing notice says to call in 15 minutes before the hearing time. I was a little late and I called in 12 minutes before, at 1:03 p.m. After waiting on hold for 9 minutes, at 1:12 p.m. the judge began the hearing. I was informed that the hearing is being transcribed and recorded. He asked who I was and I said my name and that I was the appellant. He asked if I was ready to proceed and I said yes. He announced the time and said no one besides himself and perhaps a transcriber were physically present in the courtroom. He asked/told me to raise my right hand and swear to tell the truth. Even though this was a phone call and he probably couldn't see whether or not I was actually raising my hand, I went ahead and raised my right hand as I swore to tell the truth. He asked me if I had any witnesses. I said no. He asked if the mailing address they have on file is still okay for them to use to mail the decision notice. I said yes. At this point, before I go further, I'd like to tell you that it was just the judge and I on the hearing. No one from EDD or from my previous employer were on the call. The judge proceeded to tell me who he was and what he does. He said he is an independent fact finder, and he said some other things. He said that at the end of the hearing, I can make a final statement. He told/asked me to listen carefully to the questions during the hearing, and he concluded by asking me if I understand the procedures. He also asked me if I had any questions at that point. Then he began reviewing the exhibits/documents associated with the case. You see, EDD sends their documents to the appeals board, and you, as the appellant, can mail in or upload your own documents and arguments for the judge to consider before you have the hearing. The judge didn't review the exhibits in depth. He was just saying, Exhibit 1 is, Exhibit 2 is, and he would make quick comments/descriptions of what they were about. By the time all this was over, that is, from the time he first began the hearing to the time he was done reviewing the exhibits, it was 1:20 p.m. In other words, the first 8 minutes of the hearing were these introductory things. Next, for 6 minutes, we discussed the case, and at the end, he said he was going to get it fixed for me. In other words, from what I understand, he basically said that I won the appeal. I thanked him, he said bye, and I hung up. Tomorrow will be a week since the phone hearing, and my status is still the same, meaning it still says the case is open, and I haven't received the notice of the official decision yet. I'll probably call soon to see if I can get a time estimate of what happens next. So that was it, everybody. I was on the phone for a total of 23 minutes. The first 9 minutes I was just waiting on hold. The next 8 minutes were the introductory things, and then for 6 minutes we discussed the case. Of course, if your case requires more, quote, arguing, and or if your employer is involved in it, the case may go on for longer. Either way, I hope you get your money. Good luck, everyone.